dog people, welcome back to All the Dog Things. I'm Megan, and today we're going to talk about teaching sit and down with the luring method. So for this you're going to need a handful of treats to start off, and what we're going to do is use those to direct our dog into the sit or the down position. One thing we do want to be careful with when we're using luring for any behavior, not just sit or down, we want to make sure that we're not using the lure for too long. What can happen is the dog can become dependent on the lure as their cue and not end up performing the behavior without the lure. The lure just becomes a part of what is required for them to complete the behavior. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our goodies, and we're going to use it to move our dog into the position that we want. We're going to mark that position once they hit it, and then we will reinforce. We'll do it with the lure a few times. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fade out the food portion, use just our hand, and the verbal cue will come in, and then we're going to drop the hand portion and move into just the verbal, unless you wanted to use the hand piece as a visual cue. In that case, you could keep it in. But we just want to be careful that we're not relying on guiding the dog into the position for too long. We want them to start falling into it without following food as quickly as we can. But the food is a very helpful tool to get us to that point. So I'm going to bring out Danny. We're going to run through a couple repetitions of sit and a couple repetitions of down, so that way you guys can see that. And that will be the demonstration for teaching sit and down using the luring method. If you guys have any questions, comments, how you've used luring outside of sit or down, or even within sit or down, if you guys have gotten stuck into having to have the lure with you, drop that all down into the comments. Feel free to ask questions, and if you could just go ahead and hit that subscribe button that's down here somewhere, then that would be really awesome for you guys to do that for me. So stay tuned for our sit and down demo. Alright, so for luring into a sit, I've got my clicker here, I've got a few treats ready, and I've got my dog. He's already laying down. We're going to try and get this on a good angle here, but for luring into a sit, we're simply going to take our treat and we're going to put it to the nose of the dog, and we're going to pull straight up. So the idea being that as their head orients towards the treat, their bottom will go down. So if I can get him up, come here, I'm going to, in order to get him into the sit, put the nose to the treat, and then I'll click when he's in that position. Now to do a down, same thing. Treat goes onto the nose, and then I pull straight out. So you're going down and then kind of into the dog and out. So that way they're following the treat and then pushing forward. So into the sit is a straight up. And into the down is a kind of L shape. Now, once you kind of get that behavior with the food, then you can use just your hand. So into a sit. And sorry that you guys can't really see that. Come over here, Dan. Into a down. Into a sit. And at that point, I would probably start adding my word when I know that he's about to do it. So I would say down, and then he'd get his reinforcement. And then I would say sit, and he would get his reinforcement. So I have my dog here. I'm going to say, Danny, down. And you would just continue with that. Use the hand signal until you're pretty sure that they are going to complete the behavior. There's nothing wrong with using a hand signal for instruction as a cue. So sit and down are what I use, but you guys can either use those or something else, kind of whatever you prefer. So drop your questions, comments down below, and I will see you on the next one.